All right. Well, awesome. So I am going to go over these 8 tips. Now they are in the My Week, so you can print them up if you kind of don't have them in front of you or whatever. You can go back and review them. But I'm just going to kind of elaborate on some of these tips for you about recruiting virtually. All right. So these are 8 tips for to scout for talent on social media. All right. So number 1 is to be sure you add a Facebook group to your business page. So one of the first things that you should have in your Tupperware business is a public business page. Okay. Champion has one. It's our cooking page that we do our cooking show on, and we're doing our recruiting events on Wednesday night on. But it's important for you to have one of those as well. There's lots of materials out there on how to make one. It's actually pretty simple, but you can always Google a YouTube video on how to make a public business page on Facebook. And from that, you want to have a VIP group. You can call it whatever you want. You don't have to call it VIP, but it's basically a customer group, and that is more of a community, right? So if you think about your public page is more like advertising, right? You're not paying for advertising. It's just a place where you can go post things, make announcements, basically. Now your VIP group, you can do some fun things in there, right? You can do giveaways, you can bribe people, you can have sell products maybe that you have on hand for cash and carry that aren't available right now, things like that. So there's cool things you can do in that group. But it's important to have a group like that. And in that group, a way to recruit within that group is to share success stories of consultants, right? Share success stories of consultants, and also share successes of customers, right? A customer review, things like that. So that's a great place for you to do that. And it's a great way for you to kind of sprinkle your recruiting in on your VIP page. All right. So the second one is review your friends list, right? And to generate new leads and send private messages for them to respond. In this document is a very wordy thing that you could send them. I usually don't come in the door with so many words. Usually I come in the door if I'm reaching out to somebody that I haven't reached out to in quite some time. I come in the door, I look at their wall, and I see what's been going on in their lives. And then I kind of go from there, right? And so I message them sort of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how big the kids are getting, or I message them something like, hey, I saw you went to that new brewery or gastropub. What's it like? I've been looking to see, we've been thinking about going there, whatever, but look for something genuine and authentic that you can comment on, and then start the conversation there and just kind of slowly work your way into the Tupperware stuff, right? But you also don't want it to feel bait and switchy. So just be careful about it and be like, hey, while I've got you here, I do have a quick question. And maybe they've purchased from you in the past. And so you could be like, hey, do you still use your fridge smarts? Hey, do you, how did your mom like your cake taker or whatever? Or if they've never purchased from you, you can easily kind of be like, hey, so I have a couple openings for Tupperware parties. Is that something, you'd be interested in? But if that doesn't feel right, don't do it, right? Just make sure whatever approach you're using, make sure it feels right. And you'll know kind of as the conversation goes. Sometimes I start these conversations and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to, yeah. I mean, somebody kind of goes down the rabbit hole of like, so-and-so's in the hospital, my kid's got in a car accident, blah, blah, blah. And then you're just like, hey, when's your Tupperware party? Yeah, it's not quite the right time. So, but you did kind of like come full circle. You had a meaningful conversation. And so later you can come back maybe and talk to them a little bit more about Tupperware. So it doesn't, just like if you're making like old school, right? Making phone calls to date your parties, and you call somebody and you realize like it's not the right time, that's okay. They're going to remember you the next time you call, right? So it's kind of the same sort of idea. So, all right. So number 3 is send a personalized thank you to people who subscribe to your group, right? Send them a private message and just say, hey, thanks so much for joining my page. I hope you love it. What did you come here looking for? Are you looking for recipes, tips, ideas, products, are looking for different ways to use the products you have? Ask questions, find out what they're looking for so that you can make sure that you're delivering some content like that. And it'll give you some ideas too, because sometimes it does get kind of stale, right? You're kind of like, I feel like I'm posting the same things all the time, right? So it kind of like helps you kind of go in a different direction. And I get some of the best ideas from my customers when I would like doing live Tupperware parties, people were like, how do you know all this stuff? And I'm like, you guys, like, okay. I'm like, you guys give me these tips. You share stuff with me. And so you get great tips and ideas from your customers. All right. So number 4 is share inspirational, engaging messages that'll make a emotional connection on your Facebook wall, right? And so you want to share things just kind of about like personal things that you do. And maybe you can, maybe you can tie that back to Tupperware somehow. A great thing to do, if you ever have the opportunity to do it, is kind of like the picture that they have is showing her just kind of like working on a laptop, but there's a Tupperware water bottle there, right? It's kind of like it's positioning, right? And so like you see that in TV shows all the time. You can kind of tell who the sponsors are based on everybody's driving a Buick, right? You can tell you can kind of tell that like Nike's a sponsor because everybody's wearing Nike logo shirts. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like that, but not quite so in the face. And so, so I took a picture. It's funny. I took a picture of Ella at her friend's house, getting ready for homecoming, and she's hugging James. But guess what's in the background? My Tupperware car, right? So like things like that you can do. And of course it's about homecoming, but you can see my Tupperware car in the background. So like things like that are kind of fun to do. All right. So number 5 is tips. I'm telling you, and the easiest way to come up with some cool tips is just simply Google it. I am a big supporter of Google. Okay, so Google it, right? Top 10 kitchen hacks, top 10 time-saving things in the kitchen, and just top 10 anything. That's a great thing to Google, right? And so just, or top 5, whatever. And so get tips like that. And Pinterest, of course, love Pinterest for tips and ideas that you can turn into your business. And you don't even necessarily have to make a meme. If one of the tips is about putting stuff in the freezer, right? A picture of our freezer containers. Like you don't have to like make it super fancy. So you can keep it super simple and just go on your phone. Like one of the easiest ways to do it, if you're not good at like snagging pictures on your laptops and things, is on your phone. Go to your personal website, highlight, get the picture, take the screenshot and crop it, and then just use that, right? So there's so many easy ways to do things like that. All right. So number 6 is add interest to your page by showing images of how Tupperware changes lives, right? You can show something that you earned through Tupperware. You can say, hey, have you ever wanted more time? And show maybe a picture of your family at the lake, right? Or at wherever, I don't know, we haven't been to a lake in a long time, but at like the beach or at the pool, or just in your backyard, right? Playing on the play set, right? Things like that. So there's lots of different things like that you can do. And hashtags, you can use hashtags with that. Hashtags Tup Life, right? Hashtag why Tupperware, why now, right? Hashtag, WF work from home, right? And so there's lots of different things that you can do to just kind of get your message across without like hitting them over the head with a baseball bat, saying, hey, you should join Tupperware because then you can get your kids off the bus, right? So there's lots of different things you can do with that. Number 7, recipes. Oh, come on. How many, you post a picture of food and people are like, recipe, I need a recipe, please, right? So people love recipes, all right? So don't be afraid to post recipes, and don't be afraid to just post a picture of your food or something being cooked and talk about how amazing it is, and let them ask for the recipe too. So there's lots of different things you can do with that, but people love recipes, all right? And just a little tip, Lydia Sutliff, one of our amazing organizational leaders for years, has been typing up recipes, and it is on our TW Champs Facebook page, or not the Facebook page, twchamps.com, our team website. If you will go into recipes, if you go into rally recipes, I think is what it's called, rally demo recipes, they're all there, and they're like cards, right? So it's like 4 to a page. So you, again, take a screenshot, crop it, and you have a great recipe picture that you can post into your pages all the time. So you can go in there and find all kinds of recipes. So number 8, last but certainly not least, is Pinterest. All right. So who doesn't love Pinterest, right? There's so many great ideas on Pinterest. Whenever I'm kind of stuck on something that I want to do, like a new something for my party, something new to post, I go to Pinterest and I get ideas of like kitchen things. Whenever I'm stuck at home in my own recipes, I'm tired of eating the same food, Pinterest, food, everything, Pinterest. Okay. Lots of cool things you can do with Pinterest. And actually in the documents that Tupperware posted for us again, is a YouTube. They actually put a link in there, a YouTube video for people to learn more about Pinterest and how to use it in your business is right in there. And then also their Tupperware Brands has a Pinterest page as well. So you can follow that and get lots of great ideas and share that content in your Pinterest, on your page, all that kind of good stuff. I think somebody asked for the website. Our team website is twchamps.com. All right, go there. There is a ton of training. If you've never been there before, get ready to be amazed, okay? Because it's amazing the amount of training, years and years of training on there, documents, recipes, videos, all kinds of wonderful things. So get your recruit on, man. We got so many awesome ideas going on here. Be sure to take a look at this, click through some of the videos that they have linked right in here. And it's the 8 quick tips, that one. All right. And let's do this.